The world says I should open my curtains with my hands. Why? Who are they? My mum? The world can kiss my ass. The world can kiss all of our asses. Why use your hands? You're a massive nerd.
You think you're ready for the excitement of this unboxing? Nobody is. Nobody could prepare themselves for... Oh, it wasn't that exciting. This is a smart Wi-Fi blind motor from Zemismart that pulls on your existing cord to control your blinds using Google Home and She That Should Not Be Named. And guess what? It doesn't cost a gajillion pounds. Everything else on the market that even looks like this is actually less flexible in its implementation, but costs way more money. Check this out.
Welcome back to Amateur DIY. First things first, get yourself a spirit level to make sure that your motor is straight. Or just use your eyes. Step 2, drill roll plugs deeply into the wall cavity to ensure... What are you doing? If you screw directly into the plaster, that's never going to hold. You moron. Those roll plugs are too small. Those roll plugs are too small. Those roll plugs were too small. Those roll plugs are too big. You incomprehensible moron. It's on the piss, isn't it? You're going to do nothing about it, are you? That's it, vacuum up your mess, you simpleton. Be sure to read the instructions before you try to set the motor limit, otherwise you're going to get it wrong. You got it wrong, didn't you? First of all, factory reset the motor by pressing the reset button and then holding down the up button for several seconds. Open the curtains all the way, press the reset button again, and then press the up button to set the limit. Close the curtains all the way, press the reset button, and then press up one more time to set the closed limit. Congratulations, you half-wits.
Is it me, or are smart home hubs getting ridiculously tiny? This is the smallest smart home hub I have ever seen. It actually connects to your USB, literally anything at all. I've actually connected it to my AV receiver's USB inputs just to give it the power that it needs, because the smart blind motor itself isn't actually smart at all. That's dumb. The smart blind motor, which it isn't, is actually RF or Bluetooth enabled, I think, and this is the brains of the operation. Whatever you connect it to, it powers it so that it can connect to your Wi-Fi router and then send Bluetooth or RF requests, whichever it is, to the blind motor so that you can control the thing from the internet. Amazing. The software side of this is handled by the Toyo Smart Life app. I can't say that about them, that's very rude. Toyo are not my favourite people right now, nor are they Mr. Soki's favourite people. They ruined their own platform. We'll talk more about that shortly in this video, but in the meantime, I just want to take you through the basic setup. You don't need to use the Toyo app. There is a better app called Brilliant by a company called Brilliant, and they also work in exactly the same way. The setup is the same. Once you've plugged the little USB dongle into something, you can scan for it using either the Smart Life app or using the Brilliant app. Use the Brilliant app, because Toyo can suck my balls right now. And the Brilliant app will find the device as a blind, or a curtain, I think. It doesn't matter what you're using, curtains or blinds, it will discover it as a curtain. Once it's discovered your curtain, you can open and close the curtains accordingly using the app.
Check this out, it's the coolest thing ever.
If you want to use a Google Home or She That Should Not Be Named, you just install the skill or the Google Home service, and that's it. It works. Does it work with if this then that? Yes, it doesn't. Unfortunately, this is a slightly awkward situation. Basically, this blind relies on a company called Toyo Smart Life for its software, and Toyo Smart Life recently decided to stop being awesome and start being jerks. They decided they were going to remove if this then that functionality, and unfortunately this breaks third-party integration. This means I can't actually wind my blinds up and down or open and close my curtains using this motor by pressing my light switch from Lightwave RF, for example, because that third-party integration is no more. It will still work if you actually install this blind onto somebody else's software. There is a company called Brilliant Lighting, and their app will actually accept this blind, and they will give you a link into If This Then That instead. So if you want to use somebody else's third-party software, the third party is perfectly comfortable with you doing that. You can learn more about that here if you're interested. But that's it. It will work with If This Then That. You just have to use somebody else's software to make it work. This blind motor is not supposed to be controlling curtains of this size. I stood over this thing like I was Rocky Balboa's personal trainer going, "Come on, Rock, you're a bum! Pull those curtains, man!" I can't do a very good Mickey impression. It's not intended for this. If you buy it for curtains, don't blame me if it eventually burns the motor out. It's intended for blinds. It's intended for something a little bit lighter that's got your typical pulley system. I look like I'm milking a cat every time I do this. "I've got nipples, Greg, could you milk me?" So I have inadvertently shown just how strong and capable this motor is, but I mean, it might work forever. Ask me in years to come. If you're watching this video in the future person, just drop me a comment and say, does it still control your massive heavy curtains? I'll let you know. You can of course set schedules in both the Toya Smart Life app and the Brilliant Lighting app, and you can even do really weird things like set automations based on the weather. You could, for example, have it so that when it clouds over, the blinds automatically close. What could possibly go wrong? The main advantage to these over the Soma blind motor that I reviewed previously is that I don't have to say this.
"Alexa,
Ask Soma to open the blind. Ask Soma. Seriously, Soma, if you're watching this video, you've got to sort this out. It's been going on for years now. This is an old school way of building skills, and unfortunately it means that you can't actually put your Soma blind in a routine because Alexa doesn't recognize it as a device. It has to go and ask Soma. Lame. This does not suffer with this and actually costs less money. If you want to go for the Zemismart blind motor, you'll pay less money for better functionality. Is this the cheapest option? Well, no, using your hands is. The cheapest option is another product from Zemismart. They do a tubular blind motor. And the tubular blind motor, you just push down your existing pole. Why is everything sex or milking nipples? You push it down your existing pole and it winds the pole for you. This is a great option if 1, you have that kind of blind, and 2, you're looking to save a bit of money and are happy to do the extra bit of DIY. The other option Zemismart do is exactly the same as the product we're reviewing today, but doesn't contain a battery. I should probably have mentioned, this thing has a battery. So this motor has a battery in it, which means you don't have to have a cable running to it all the time. You can just charge it up when you need to and then take the cable away again. They do an option which is fully wired in and you just have a cable connected permanently. That option is actually cheaper than this one, but has all the same functionality. There are other options out there, but none of them are this cheap, this strong, and this connected. This works really well with See That Should Not Be Named and Google Home, and if you use a third-party application, If This Then That. I really like the fact that it is battery powered. It means that I don't have to have a cable trailing all over my house all the time. I hate tacking stuff in. The installation is easy, if you're not a moron like me, and so I can't recommend this thing enough. I say that almost every episode. It's because I only feature good things normally. This is a really good product. Zemismart are a really good company, and if you have any problems, they will look after you. If you're looking for a blind, driver, motor, this is it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. That'll tell YouTube's algorithms it was a good video and more people should see it. If you want to see some more of this guy, hit that subscribe button and ding that bell. If you ding the bell, it lets YouTube know you want to be notified when I upload videos. These amazing people are my patrons from Patreon. Without those guys, this channel would not be afloat. I need their help. I need your help too. Come and be one of those guys at either Patreon or buy me a one-off beer at PayPal, and either way, I'll love you forever. These are my social medias. If you want to come and hang out with me there, we can be best friends at all the Facebooks and the Twitters and the Instagrams. I shall see you next time. You think you're ready for the excitement? You think you're ready for me to spit at you? Nobody is. Well, I mean, if it is in your... Does it work with if this then that? Yes it doesn't, sort of, yes it shouldn't. No it doesn't, yes it does, soon it won't, but it will anyway. Is this the cheapest option? Well, no. Milking cats. Milking cats, you tit. I shall see you next time. Da 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 da.